Soccer players or football players and their fans can sometimes make us raise our eyebrows when we see what they can get up to. The worst combination is probably a football player with a huge ego and lots of money and drunk fans, which is probably not that rare among any of them. The stuff some of these players and their fans can get up to can sometimes be simply mind-blowing and controversial, from players attacking fans and each other to them doing irresponsible stuff off the pitch and fans acting like hooligans. We wanted to know what the craziest moments were for soccer players and fans, so we went looking. Enjoy the video. Here are the craziest moments with soccer fans and players. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. The hot chick could kick a football. Streakers come in all shapes and sizes. Some are more attractive than others, and this one would be one of the more attractive ones we've seen. Not only is this particular one attractive because of her physical appearance, she's fascinating because the girl can kick a ball. She scores a rocket of a goal past a diving keeper who evidently did not realize that she wasn't on any particular team. The only thing more attractive than a hot blonde bearing it all is one that can play sports, and this girl obviously proves she may have spent some time at the YMCA in her youth. Extra marks go to the goalie for keeping things professional and not taking any scoring chances for granted. Although we can't include the video here as it features nudity, you should have no trouble finding it with a simple YouTube search. Welcome to hell. In November of 1993, Manchester United were drawn against Turkish side FC Galatasaray in the UEFA Champions League. Manchester United had seen off Honvéd, and a win against Galatasaray would propel them into the quarter-finals. However, a lackluster loss at Old Trafford condemned them to a must-win away trip to Istanbul. When Manchester United arrived, they were greeted with horror by banners with strange writings. The most notable one was the "Welcome to Hell" banner. They were on display even during the game, and things inevitably became chaotic after the final whistle. Several Manchester United fans were even beaten and arrested. Zinedine Zidane headbutt 2002. Zinedine Zidane is a French footballer and the former captain of the French soccer team. He was the one who single-handedly brought France to a World Cup triumph. In the early part of the last decade, Zidane was considered to be one of the greatest players of all time. It was the 2002 World Cup final between France and Italy that he was sillier than the silliest fans. After 90 minutes of the game, it was 1-1, causing the game to move into extra time. It was at this point when the Italian player Materazzi hurled some abusive language towards Zidane, and he retaliated with a headbutt to him in his chest. The referee then showed him the red card, and his career ended in the most shameful manner. The match moved to a penalty shootout as both teams failed to score in the extra time. France went on to lose the game. This question consumed the soccer world long after the Italian defender had fallen in a heap, the French captain had been sent off, and the Azzurri had cruised to victory. Months later, some light was shed on the issue when Materazzi admitted that he had provoked Zidane by insulting his sister. Ronaldo's wink. England continued its run of controversy in a 2006 quarter-final encounter with Portugal in which Wayne Rooney was sent packing for stamping on Ricardo Carvalho. Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo may have been a teammate of Rooney's at Manchester United, but that didn't stop him from waving an imaginary red card at the referee. Then, after Rooney left the field, Ronaldo winked at the Portuguese bench. And incredibly, the Old Trafford legend says his moment of shame actually brought him and the Portuguese icon closer together after a clear-the-air talk in the tunnel after the game. The same could not be said for England's fans who held that moment against Ronaldo for a long time afterwards. El Hadji Diouf for spitting at children. If anyone can think of a more obnoxious footballer, I'd love to hear it. El Hadji Diouf has played for many teams in his time, and he's been unpopular at every one of them. While at Liverpool, he was fined for spitting at fans and opposing players, and he was later charged with assault on a group of fans. When he was at Bolton, he was fined for spitting at an 11-year-old Middlesbrough fan just a few weeks later, a Portsmouth player. He also shouted racist claims at an Everton ball boy, claiming it was in retaliation to Everton fans throwing bananas at him, though there was no evidence of that. Queen's Park Rangers manager Neil Warnock said Diouf was lower than a sewer rat for mocking QPR player Jamie Mackie as he lay on the pitch with a broken leg. And of course, he was sent off in the highly charged and controversial Old Firm derby between Celtic and Rangers in January of 2011. None of this would be all that controversial if Diouf was any good at football when Eric Cantona kung fu kicked a fan during a match. 20 years on, the kung fu kick former Manchester United striker Eric Cantona launched at Crystal Palace fan Matthew Simmons moments after being sent off at Selhurst Park still resonates as one of the sport's most extraordinary events, even by the standards of football's melodramas. I have one regret. I would have loved to have kicked him even harder. Eric Cantona shows no remorse over the infamous kung fu kick on a Crystal Palace fan in 1995 as Man United United legend hails Sir Alex Ferguson for sticking by him like a father. Cantona was incensed by the abuse directed at him by Simmons, a man who, as it transpired, had rushed down 11 rows of the stands for the express intention of bidding farewell to the United icon. He memorably informed The Sun his exact words were, "Off you go, Cantona, it's an early bath for you." More reliable witnesses have suggested it was closer to "off you mother French bass." He probably deserved his kick. Swedish fans' silent protest. The Stockholm Derby between Djurgården and AIK in 2011 began in total silence for 10 minutes. It was a protest by fans from both sides against media dehumanization, authorities, and exploitation by their own clubs. Although it was a silent protest, they communicated their discontent. It was impossible to miss so much silence at a soccer match. The Battle of Santiago, 1962. One of the most infamous matches in tournament history, the Battle of Santiago took place in 1962 between Chile and Italy. Amidst clear tensions after Italian journalists called Santiago a dump, it was still recovering from a 9.5 Richter scale earthquake, both sides proceeded to assault each other in a myriad of ways. The first foul came after 12 seconds and the first sending off was in the 12th minute. Punches, kicks, and numerous scuffles meant the police had to intervene 3 times during the match, which Chile won 2-0. When highlights from the match were shown on British television a couple of days later, not the same night because films of matches had to be flown back to the UK, the match was introduced by BBC sports commentator David Coleman as the most stupid, appalling, disgusting, and disgraceful exhibition of football possibly in the history of the game. Stones were even thrown at some Italian players at their training camp. Coleman also observed that it was the first meeting between the sides and hopefully the last. However, the sides were drawn together at the 1966 World Cup and met at Sunderland's Roker Park ground with Italy winning 2-0. The game passed without a violent incident. Scotland's fans pitch invasion. Scotland fans love it when they beat the English side. This was fully shown in the 1977 British Home Championship and what has come to be one of the craziest things sports fans have done in football history. Beating England 2-1 and totally outplaying them the entire match sparked electric chants from the Scottish fans. What brought more excitement was the fact that they were doing it on English turf. After the final whistle, fans crossed the barriers and filled the stadium with wild celebrations. In fact, some fans climbed the goal frame and famously split it in two. London 2012 Olympic women's final and tighter shorts. The 2012 Women's World Cup at Wembley, England was graced by over 80,000 fans. Everything had gone well, and everyone was thrilled by the warm welcome they received from the British public. However, one man, the then FIFA president Sepp Blatter, was on the wrong side. His earlier comment that female footballers needed to wear tighter shorts to make themselves marketable was revisited by the huge crowd. He was booed, and even a banner was raised in the crowd labeling him the Swiss family's robbing son. That concludes our video for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Are there other moments we missed or ones that were more prominent? If we did, feel free to leave a comment or just say hi. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you back for more videos. Until then, stay safe.